Welcome to this week's legislative report. Senators advanced the state's biennial budget bill from the second round of debate this week. The $9.7 billion budget includes funding for property tax relief, as well as riparian weed control, law enforcement training grants, local public health department funding, juvenile service grants, and mental health courts. Much of the debate focused on whether Nebraska should appropriate funds to build a new prison. The budget package is scheduled for final reading next Tuesday. On next Thursday, the legislature will take up LB 408, a bill to limit annual property tax increases to 3%. Amounts needed to pay the principal and interest on bonds would not be included within the limit. Real growth due to new construction, improvements, or annexation would also be outside of the limit. Voters could exceed the 3% limit at a primary, general, or special election. A Revenue Committee amendment would clarify that the property tax request could not exceed its prior authority by more than 103%. It would allow a governing body to vote to exceed this limit for no more than 2 consecutive years, not to exceed 9% over a 3-year period. The new restrictions would take effect on January 1, 2022, and sunset in 2027. A separate amendment has been filed to address the timing of placing the question on the ballot to be in compliance with the Election Act. It would create exemptions from the 3% limit for capital improvements to address fire or flood mitigation, approved bonds, repairs to infrastructure damaged by a natural disaster, and other events. LB2 is also expected to be scheduled for debate next week. It would reduce the valuation of agricultural and horticultural lands to 30% of actual value when used for school district taxes levied to pay the principal and interest on bonds. An amendment would set the minimum appropriation for the annual property tax credit at the prior year's amount plus 3%. In action this week, the legislature passed a bill to allow public bodies in a location encompassed by a governor's emergency declaration to meet by virtual conferencing. The concept is similar to the executive orders signed by Governor Ricketts to facilitate governmental operations throughout the pandemic. The legislature used a consent calendar process to advance bills from the first and second rounds of debate this week, as well as engaging in more extended debate. Among the bills advanced from general file, the first round of debate, were LB 63 that would change the deadline for assessors to process tax exemption applications from February 1 to March 1, and LB 466 that, as amended, would require county treasurers to prorate property taxes when property is sold and the parties haven't agreed on another proration. Further discussion is expected during the second round of debate. Senators also gave first round approval to a bill to authorize counties to implement a twice-daily testing program as an alternative to incarceration for offenses involving operating a motor vehicle under the influence of alcohol or drugs. Bills that were advanced from select file, the second round of debate, include LB 224, which would strike a residency reference when county surveyors are appointed in counties of less than 150,000, and LB 338 that would require the state, counties, and cities that receive federal broadband funds to ensure certain upload and download speeds.